The NFL has absolutely no idea what to do with Lamar Jackson. And honestly, it's kind of hilarious to watch. Here's the thing. For years, the so-called experts told us exactly what Lamar Jackson was. They had him figured out. He was a running back playing quarterback, a gimmick, a system player who would get exposed the moment defenses figured him out. Well, it's 2024, and I'm still waiting for that to happen, aren't you? Because last time I checked, this dude just won his second MVP award. He's lighting up defenses like it's a video game, and defensive coordinators across the league are literally losing sleep trying to scheme against this guy. So what's the problem? The problem is that Lamar Jackson doesn't fit into any of the neat little boxes the NFL wants to put him in. He's not a traditional pocket passer. He's not just a running quarterback. He's something entirely different. And the league, from analysts to scouts to opposing coaches, still can't agree on what he actually is. Is he elite? Is he a system quarterback? Is he the most dangerous weapon in football? Or is he just one playoff run away from being exposed? Let's talk about it. To understand why Lamar Jackson is such a polarizing figure, we got to go back to where it all started. 2018 NFL Draft. Lamar Jackson, the Heisman Trophy winner from Louisville, is sitting there, and sitting some more. Baker Mayfield goes first overall, Sam Darnold goes third, Josh Allen goes seventh, Josh Rosen, remember him, goes 10th, and Lamar, he's watching quarterback after quarterback get picked ahead of him. 31 picks go by before the Baltimore Ravens finally take him at the very end of the first round. Pick 32, the last pick of round 1. Now, why did a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback fall that far? Oh, you already know the answer. He should switch to wide receiver. Yes, that actually happened. An NFL executive suggested that Lamar Jackson should change positions. Get out of here with that nonsense. But that's what the narrative was. He was too small. His throwing motion was unconventional. He was too reliant on his legs. The NFL didn't think he could be a real quarterback. And look, I get it to some extent. The league had seen athletic quarterbacks flame out before. They'd seen guys who could run but couldn't read defenses. They had their prototypes, their checkboxes, their measurables. Lamar Jackson checked almost none of them. But here's what the scouts missed. Here's what everyone missed. This dude is different, like genuinely, historically different. Now, let's not pretend it was all smooth sailing, because it wasn't. Lamar's rookie year, he takes over for an injured Joe Flacco, leads the Ravens to the playoffs, and then gets shut down by the Chargers. Like, embarrassingly shut down. The Ravens scored 3 points. 3. And the haters? Oh, they had a field day. See, we told you, defenses figured him out. It's over. And then, 2019 happens. We'll get to that in a second. But even after his MVP season, the doubts never fully went away. Because here's the thing about Lamar Jackson. No matter what he does, there's always a but. MVP season? But can he do it in the playoffs? Playoff win? But can he beat a real contender? The 2021 season was rough. Lamar dealt with injuries, the Ravens had 1 million guys on injured reserve, and the team limped to an 8-9 record. Lamar missed 5 games with an ankle injury, came back, then got hurt again. And what happened? The narrative shifted again.
Running quarterbacks don't last. His style of play isn't sustainable. This is what we warned you about. Then came the contract situation. And oh boy, this one was messy. Lamar wanted to get paid, as he should. Dude was a 2-time MVP at that point. But the Ravens and Lamar couldn't come to an agreement. Lamar didn't have an agent. He was negotiating for himself, and the whole thing dragged out publicly in a way that made everyone uncomfortable. He requested a trade. Teams didn't offer what the Ravens wanted. There were rumors about injury concerns, about whether teams saw him as a long-term franchise quarterback. Think about that for a second. A 2-time MVP, and teams were hesitant to give up assets for him. What does that tell you about how the league views Lamar Jackson? They respect him, they fear him, but they don't fully trust him. And honestly, that might be the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen in professional sports. All right, let's talk about what Lamar Jackson has actually done, because the resume is absolutely insane. 2019, Lamar's first full season as a starter. He throws for 36 touchdowns, runs for 1,206 yards, the most ever by a quarterback in a single season. The Ravens go 14-2, and Lamar wins MVP unanimously. Unanimously. Do you understand how rare that is? Only Tom Brady, Lamar, and Peyton Manning have ever done that. He was 22 years old. 22! Let me put this in perspective. At 22 years old, most quarterbacks are still learning how to read NFL defenses. Lamar was collecting MVP votes like they were Pokemon cards. And the way he was doing it, it was legitimately unprecedented. The Ravens built an offense specifically around his unique skill set. The RPO game was unstoppable. Defenses would commit to the run, and Lamar would pull it back and hit Mark Andrews over the middle. They'd try to take away the pass, and Lamar would tuck it and run for 15 yards. Nobody could stop it. Nobody. But here's where it gets even crazier. Fast forward to 2023. The Ravens have revamped their offense. Todd Monken comes in as offensive coordinator and says, "We're going to make Lamar a true passer." And what does Lamar do? He wins MVP again. But this time, he does it differently. He throws for 3,678 yards, 24 touchdowns, and just 7 interceptions. His passer rating, 102.7. His completion percentage improved. His decision-making improved. He was making throws that the experts said he couldn't make. Oh, and he still ran for 821 yards. Because of course he did. The dude is a cheat code, plain and simple. And let's talk about the playoff monkey on his back. For years, that was the criticism. Lamar can't win in the playoffs. 2023 playoffs. The Ravens demolish the Texans 34-10. Lamar throws 4 touchdowns. He looks like the best player on the planet. Then they beat the Chiefs. Wait, no, they lost that AFC Championship game. We'll get to that. But the point is, Lamar has won playoff games now. He's shown he can perform in January. The narrative that he shrinks in big moments is getting harder and harder to justify. Okay, let's be fair here. Let's address the other side. Because there is another side, and ignoring it would be dishonest. The biggest knock on Lamar Jackson is still the playoff resume. 2 MVPs, 0 Super Bowl appearances, and that AFC Championship loss to the Chiefs, that hurt. Lamar threw 2 interceptions in that game. The Ravens were favored, they were at home, and they couldn't get it done.
Now, was that all on Lamar? Absolutely not. Zay Flowers fumbled at the goal line. The defense gave up some big plays. But Lamar is the quarterback. He's the MVP. And in the biggest game of the season, he didn't play his best football. That's just the reality. And there are people, smart people, football people, who will tell you that Lamar's style of play makes him more vulnerable in the playoffs. When the games slow down, when defenses have 2 weeks to prepare, when you're facing elite coaching, can the read option stuff still work? We've seen it struggle before. That Chargers game in 2018, the Titans game in 2019 when Derrick Henry ran all over the Ravens, but Lamar also couldn't generate anything in the passing game. The Bills game where the Ravens got outscored in a shootout. There was a pattern there. Maybe. Or maybe it's just variance. Maybe it's just what happens when you play in the most random, unpredictable sporting event on the planet. Here's the other critics bring up. Durability. Lamar has missed games due to injury. Not a ton, but enough to raise eyebrows. And when your quarterback takes hits the way Lamar does, when running is such a core part of your game, there's legitimate concern about long-term sustainability. Can Lamar do this until he's 35? Can he do it until he's 32? We don't know. Nobody knows. And that uncertainty is part of why the Ravens were hesitant on that contract. It's part of why other teams didn't go all in to trade for him. Is it fair? Probably not. Patrick Mahomes takes hits too. Josh Allen runs plenty. But the perception exists, and it affects how people view Lamar's career. And then there's the system quarterback argument. Some people will tell you that Lamar only works in Baltimore's specific system, that he couldn't do this anywhere else, that the Ravens have built an entire ecosystem around his unique abilities, and without it, he'd struggle. I think that's mostly nonsense. Good teams build around their best players. That's what you're supposed to do. But it's a talking point that exists, and you'll hear it on debate shows until the end of time. So where does this leave us? Lamar Jackson is a two-time MVP. He's one of the most electrifying players in NFL history. He's rewritten what's possible for a quarterback, and he's still only 27 years old. But he doesn't have a ring. He hasn't made a Super Bowl. And until that happens, there will always be an asterisk next to his name for some people. Is that fair? I don't know. Plenty of Hall of Fame quarterbacks never won a Super Bowl. Dan Marino never did. Does that make him any less great? But we live in a championship or bust era. We live in a world where Patrick Mahomes is out there collecting rings like it's nothing. And fairly or not, Lamar is going to be compared to him. Here's the question I want to leave you with. If Lamar Jackson wins a Super Bowl, just one, does he become a top 5 quarterback of all time? Think about it. 2 MVPs, a ring, and the most rushing yards in NFL history by a quarterback. That's a ridiculous resume. But if he never gets one, if he keeps putting up insane regular season numbers but coming up short in January, where does he rank then? Is he a regular season legend who couldn't get it done when it mattered? Or is he a transcendent talent who just never got the right supporting cast at the right time? That's the debate. That's the problem. That's why the NFL has a Lamar Jackson problem. Because nobody, and I mean nobody, knows exactly how to evaluate this guy. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is Lamar Jackson a future Hall of Famer? Is he the most dangerous player in football? Or is there something missing that's keeping him from true greatness? Drop your takes below. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit that button. We do this every week. I'll see you in the next one.